I was looking for a good webcam with a built-in light at a great price, so I picked up this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked up this webcam here. I don't know anything about it. It says NexiGo. It'd be funny if it were made in Mexico, but it just comes in this little box, and I want to unbox this here because I was actually looking for a webcam that I could take on the road with me. So I've been doing a little bit of traveling, been in hotels, and I've been sitting there thinking, man, I could record a video, do a little live streaming, hang out with you, because honestly, when I'm in a hotel alone, it gets a little boring. But I didn't want to make that experience terrible for anyone who might care to watch that. So I thought, well, I don't want to use the built-in webcam that my laptop has. I thought maybe I would try something else that would come with a light. Obviously it should have a microphone built in as well, but then also we'll see how the audio quality is. Now, I will say if you're going to do some live streaming, podcasting, video conferencing, you know, yes, you can use the built-in microphone, which is what we're going to test, but I would also carry another USB microphone. It does come with these little webcam covers here. So these are kind of like those aftermarket ones that you just buy for your laptop and you stick on, and they have a little sliding door. So I'm thinking maybe that will stick onto the webcam itself. We do have a user manual here. We also have the webcam, and then there's nothing else in here. And what we will do is we'll just test this on my desktop, because if it works decently there, if I'm relatively happy with it, then this nice little compact webcam will go with me on my next trip. So what we have here is a USB-A plug. Now I will say if you're using something like a MacBook, maybe a more modern laptop, you might need an adapter to convert to USB-C, that sausage style connector. But you can see we have a pretty long cable here. I would call that about 5 feet. So if you are using this with your desktop, should work fine there. And we have the webcam right here. You can kind of see it doing its 360, and some more plastic right up here. I want to make sure I get that off. So you can see the cord goes into the back of here. We have this little chamfered edge. It's kind of piano black. We have some texturing around the top. This stands probably about almost 2 inches tall and maybe 3 inches wide. And what you can see here is we have a ring light behind this little frosted plastic right there, and then we have the camera here. I think this is a LED status light, and then I think that is a little tiny hole, you can kind of see it in the reflection there, where there is a microphone. And then right down here we have a little ball joint, so you can move this around, get different angles on it. And then we have a pretty standard base right here. So if I open this up just like that, you can see we have rubber lining up here, so it will fit, say, on the top of your laptop, and then you can kind of adjust that angle by kicking this out or bringing it up. Right? And then you can make some fine adjustments there, macro adjustments right down there. And then on the bottom here, we have a 1/4-inch thumb screw. So if you do want to put this on a tripod, you could certainly do that. There's also a little fingerprint icon there. So I wonder if that's touch sensitive. So the nice thing about this is instead of using software to turn it on and off, you could just do that. Now, one of the things that we need to do now is get this installed on my desktop and just try it out. All right, so I've got the NexiGo camera installed on my computer here, and I'm looking straight into it. I haven't done any color adjustment. I actually do have a webcam setting software where I can play with the colors, and you might be able to tell that I look like a rock lobster right now. This is making me look pretty red. Now, I will say, besides the light above me, which is pretty bright, and that might actually be screwing things up, I don't have the webcam light on yet. I just wanted to do an initial plug-in, record the audio and the video with this camera. It's recording at 1080p, so this is a full high-def camera, which is awesome. And I am seeing the little white light on the camera saying that it is on. And I am also, at least I've selected the microphone on the camera as the audio input. Now, I will say that in my office here, everything's flat, you know, lack of carpeting, soft materials, tends to be kind of hollowy, you know, get a lot of reverb kind of a thing. So, you know, if it's sounding just a little bit tinny, there's a part of my office that's coming into play there. And it's not just the microphone, but this is the audio that you should be able to expect. Now, one of the things that I want to do here, when I touch that little thumbprint or fingerprint button on the ring light, it goes on. Now, what's interesting about this is it has a couple different modes. So it's on its low mode, medium mode, and high mode right there. And as you can see, as I was cycling through those, hopefully, that off, low, medium, it does work. So I'm pretty impressed with this, especially in low light situations. You know, I was in a hotel room recently and I turned on all the lights, but they're all like floor lamps and nightstand lamps. There's no center light like I have here in my office. So it doesn't really ever get really bright, even if you have the windows and the curtains open. And so something like this, especially if you're sitting there on a laptop, working remotely, web calls, Zoom calls, Microsoft team meetings, webinars, whatever, having a little bit of light here helps a lot. And I will say that this is pretty bright, right? I mean, you know, for a little tiny light about that big, it's putting out a lot of light, and it's a ring light, so it's all around, so you don't have to worry about it creating some crazy shadows or anything like that. So I will tell you, without playing around with any of these settings, I mean, I could open up my settings panel and kind of play around with the colors a little bit here, kind of maybe reduce the saturation a little bit, whatever. I could definitely make some adjustments here where I think that the colors would look pretty good, but right out of the gate, without doing anything. So if you're a novice, you don't want to fool around with settings, I would definitely use this. So I'm pretty impressed with it. And under 50 bucks. So a webcam that's high def, under 50 bucks will usually be pretty simplistic. But this one has the ring light in it too. And I've used the Keo Razor in the past that has a built-in ring light. That's like a $200 or $300 webcam, so quite a bit more expensive. So if you want to pick up this NexiGo because it might help you, it's certainly coming with me on my next road trip so that I can hang out with you. I'll put a link to it in the description below. It might just make your next video calls a little bit better. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper.